started very, very small, isn't it? But sir, in all the beginning, when you first started, did you ever think that you would own all these companies and you've been employing thousands of Nigerians? Did you ever have that as part of your dream?
To be very frank, it's difficult to imagine where we are today. But just like every other thing in life, success is something you can regard like a wildfire. Once it ignited, it's hard to quench it. You know, you keep on moving on from one thing to the other. Clearly, I have an ambition as a young man. For some of you who may not know my beginning, very humble beginning. Lost my father when I was 4 and stopped in elementary 3. Forget about all these things they are telling you. I didn't go beyond elementary 3. But I have a godly mother who is very dedicated and committed, that inspires me and asks me to believe in myself as I believe in God. So I give all the credit to ladies here that are mothers, because you make all the difference in the life of people. The death of my father brought unprecedented discipline in my life. So how my parents have 4 children under 4 years is a mystery that only 2 of them can explain. It's like they knew something was going to happen, so in quick succession I happened to be the second in the family. So my mother was a person who really discovered my entrepreneurial capability out of sheer of hard work. Difficulties actually getting me to go and sell akala on the street. And then I worked for my uncle for 7 years. I used to sleep in a shop in a Butemeta at 8 Griffith Street. I still recall at the age of 8 going to join a night bus to go to Newe. I passed the AG Leventis building by the corner of that building. I pointed at the building and said, one day I'm going to make a building like this. The guy that was working with me that had me say that knew me very well and cocked my hair. Just felt like, what's wrong with this boy? Why do you talk like this? But that shows you the power of vision. Okay? You must believe it. It has to be settled in your mind. But if it's a true vision, you have to work to get it to happen. It doesn't happen overnight. To the fact to it, the first building I ever made in my life was a building by Adiola Odeku at the corner piece. If you look at it and go and compare it with that AG Leventis building, it will confirm to you that it is a true vision. I had the opportunity to buy properties in Ajegule, different things. So all I'm trying to say is that I never truly expected where we are today. But the truth is that once you get it right from the beginning, the foundation is solid and well laid, then you can build on top of it.
Thank you very much for that. Now you said something critical, which the conversations we've been having today, the normal conversations we have with entrepreneurs, those 2 words keep coming up: solid foundation. When you say solid foundation, can you share with us, entrepreneurs here today, some things that are necessary to build a solid foundation?
Okay, clearly, you need to have clear vision of where you want to go. If you are not clear where you want to go, take for instance, if you get out of these premises, there are 3 roads that are facing you. You can go straight here and go to Babish. You can go and follow Adiolo Odeku. You can also go this way. It's only when you are clear in your mind where you want to go, then you can choose your road. And it was clear in my mind that what I wanted to do from day one was to build an institution that would be timeless in its relevancy and value. I have an idea what the destination would be, but all the routes to get there, I do not know. So it's like charting a course of a voyage. You know, you have an idea where you are going, but you may not understand all the route. The solid foundation I have is my apprenticeship years. Is the best university anybody can go. A lot of people don't play value to mentorship and understanding where you are going. Very many young boys just believe if you just give me money, I will become a billionaire. If I just have this amount of money, I will make this or that thing. Forget about it. In real life, if you don't have knowledge and clear understanding where you are going, you will lose the capital to gain the knowledge, and people will say you learn in a hard way. Because what you needed to have known earlier, you didn't know. You first got capital, and then over a period of time, that capital will disappear. The 7 years of apprenticeship, watching how things were done as a young man, it's not about going to university. It's not about how much intellectual you are or intellect you have, but normal common sense. That common sense is not as common as many people will always believe it is. It's called sixth sense, because it goes beyond the normal thing. If it is clear in your mind, it helps you to plan. While I was working for my uncle, I see a lot of things happening. There's something in me bubbling. I started questioning the norms, that can this thing be done better? I think there could be a better way to do it. And I was taking note, of what I need to do in future and how I'm going to organize myself. So after I served my uncle for 7 years in 1976, he counted 200 naira and gave me when I went to meeting with my senior brother. It was like the world come to an end. My senior brother said I should leave the money and let us go away. I asked him, do you have anyone to give me when we get home? He says no. I said, so I better go with this one first of all. And that's part of the thing I want you to understand. It's not good to just say forget it. Take whatever, in business you don't get what you deserve, you get what you negotiated. In that apprenticeship, unfortunately, there was nothing negotiated. The death of my father brought a new, turn of life in my life, and somebody was assisting me, brought me to Lagos, fed me and clothed me. So the game treated towards his own side. Nothing was agreed. But the good thing there is that I knew that I need all the discipline that I need to acquire to succeed in life. Because if I mess up, I am sent packing without anything being given to me. So I humbled myself. I watched some of the boys doing apprenticeship with me. They would jump out in the night and go to watch movie, do some different things. So the discipline you have will be unprecedented. The level of how to manage yourself. So the next thing is that at the end of the day, when my uncle, set me up with that little capital, my excitement was not the capital. My excitement was that I have freedom to do with my life what I have to do today. And then what did I do? I went back to the same thing he taught me. Buying and selling of motorcycle spare parts. I would jump night bus, come to Lagos here and go to AG11s, buy things and run back to Newe. But simple basic things I do is that I have what I call expenses book. I have what I call sales book. I have what I call profit book. I have what I call purchase book. It's not, I don't have money to employ any accountant or set a structure office in a big firm, but basic fundamentals that I need to keep an eagle eye on my capital. Because if I don't know how much I'm earning, I won't know how to spend money. And one thing I put at the back of my mind is that any money I do not earn, I won't spend it. Because I started with very little capital. So if I drink a mineral, I record it. I never spend any money without recording it. That is, the first thing is accountability. You hold yourself to a very high extreme in accountability. How to manage money. So these basic things I did, I'm able to know how much I transport myself to Lagos. When I'm coming back, how much did it cost me to bring my goods down? Because a lot of people are into what you call business. They are selling, money is moving. But how do you know whether you are making money or you are losing money? Because you are seeing money, you say turn around, and turning around. One day you look, you find out the things you are turning around has finished. So, because of this mental attitude I have, the first money I borrowed in bank was 1,000 naira from African Continental Bank. Mr. Duru was the manager of Nnewi branch, and they told me that if you turn up, if you turn up, then they turn over. If you turn over, they will give you more money. I took the 1,000 naira, rushed to my store. Before the bank closed, I went there and paid 250 naira from the money. I haven't done anything with it because I want to turn over. The following day, I went to pay 150 naira. The following day, I went to pay 350 naira. Then I paid the other one, wrote another check, they gave me the money. You know, when I did that about 4 or 5 times, the manager would write on my check, refer to drawer. I would go and see the manager and say, play a good boy, play a good boy. I gave him 50 kobo. The money was going down. Before he knew it, the fact total amount remained 750 naira. I said, check. Is that how the people borrow money from bank behave? I went and paid the 1,000 naira back to ACB, and I resolved I'm going to trade with my capital. I won't borrow from the bank. It may not apply to every businesses, but why I'm trying to explain this is that not until your business is well structured, and then what sense does it make that you have 3 balls, you want to have 5, and all the 5 of them fell out of your hand? Isn't it better you hold the 3 you have than the other 2 more you want to acquire? I never borrowed money again from bank until I built that Costalis Plaza in Victoria Island. That is true. Guarantee Trust put 200 million naira in place for me. I never drew on it till I finished that building. My determination is that I need to build capital. And as a businessman, I knew that capital is the engine of business. It's like mechanics and dynamics. The knowledge you have is the mechanics of your business, but the dynamics of it is the capital. So, if you go out there and see a beautiful car that is shining, a very good Rolls Royce, if there is no engine in it, if you enter inside, you will get sweat. It's not going to take you anywhere. You can admire it, but it's not moving. The dynamics in itself is an engine that can start and stay one place and make noise, but it's not in operation. So when you're able to get the two together, the dynamics and the mechanics, then you can get things going into the motion. So I have sense what to do. Common sense, God gave it to me. I have knowledge because I've been trained for 7 years. For me, it was the best university. When I was doing apprenticeships, some young men would be going to school. They put hand in the back and I just said, let's shop. I said, 5 years from today, I will be better than you. I told some of them. I was determined. My situation didn't make me to lose confidence about myself. You need confidence to be a businessman. You shouldn't feel inferior to anybody. You need to believe in yourself. That is a seed my mother sowed in me. I move out and you say no. I told you can't say no. You can't say no to me. When you are saying no, I'm smiling. I'm telling you I believe you can do better than what you are saying. The worst thing you can say to me is no. I leave you and go. You don't have heaven, you don't have hell. You won't put me in any of them. My destiny is not in your hand. I determine it and I will create it. So that discipline to hold yourself accountable is a prerequisite for a successful business and growing a small enterprise. It was one of the former US President, Benjamin Franklin, that said, beware of little expenses, for a small hole will sink a big ship. So I kept an eagle eye on capital. So when I come back, if I bought a merchandise and I sold them, I wrote every day. It's not maybe because I issue you a receipt for what you purchased. At the end of the day, I register all the things I sold. Then in the purchase book, I go there and check how much I purchased them. Then I see what the profit is. I end the day saying I ended today making 1,500 naira. So it's easy for me to determine that it's only 200 naira I will spend, or only 100 naira. And then I have another book where I said on Monday, 12th of August, I made 1,500. I record them like that. So in a month, it's easy for me to know that I've made only 70,000 this month, or I made only 30,000. If you don't possess discipline, you think you are in a hurry. There are other things that are more important you need to do. You will just be dipping and spending money, turning over, but you don't know you are going down. And it is hard for you to make a decision where people ask you to give them money. So I apply this, so I'm able to know when I can say I want 1,000. I was able to know when I want 5,000. And in this systematic way I grew up, I have what I call stock book. So if I have bought 1,000 or 10 pieces of bread, every day I go to that book, minus on 20 that I sold 1. What is balancing is 9. Because I need to check my inventory to know when the apprentices that are working for me start stealing from my stock. And if I don't have that record, I don't have authority to say, oh, this is supposed to be 10. Why is it remaining 4? So those basic funds, I'm telling you this in a very elementary form. You may think it's complicated, but these are prerequisites. They are inevitable. If you don't want to do them, you are just taking a chance, and you cannot know truly whether you are progressing or you are declining. One thing you will find out one day is that you'll be looking for your capital and it has disappeared. Okay.
Thank you very much, sir. Words of wisdom. Truly words of wisdom. Capital is the engine of business, and that's true. Everything that he shared with us, I think, is what the accounting softwares are doing for us, but they're complicated. And we always go and recruit the accountants to help us simplify what he has just shared with us. I'm talking about accountants now. Brings me to another question. If we don't take loans from the bank, how do we expand? You started with trading, you have Coscharis Motors, Coscharis Beverages, Coscharis Medical, Coscharis Technologies, Coscharis Farms, and on and on and on. How do we expand? Because in the earlier session, we talked about difficulty in accessing capital.
Please understand, it doesn't matter what business you are into. If you know what you are doing and you do it well, you will find the capital to do that business. Don't ever place capital ahead of knowledge. It's a serious mistake many young people do. Maybe some of you have not read the book of Rich Dad and Poor Dad, Koizaki. He said, don't work for money, work to learn. The knowledge, that's also where many young men from my state or town get it wrong. Because they always tell you what a man has in his pocket is greater than what man has in his head. What a man has in his head is 1 billion times greater than what you have in your pocket. It has to happen in your head first before anything comes in your pocket. Now, how do you grow business and make it a big thing without leveraging from bank borrowing? I will tell you, if you are starting from ground zero, the best option is supplier's credit, not bank loan. Supplier's credit is the same as bank loan. But there is not much condition tied to it, like bank, Saturday, Sunday, Friday, public holiday, interest rate is counted. It doesn't respect any day. It's mountain. You have went to toilet, you went to hospital, your this happened, interest is counted. Very easy. If you don't have a stable business that can sustain that, it's an easy way to commit suicide. Your hand is not up, your leg is not down, you are disappeared. I will only advocate and ask you to go for it, because some of you will wonder, why am I talking like this? If you really want to know truly, I knew no business will thrive without leveraging in any form of support. But once you start doing well, support will come. Yes. Your customer, even without you asking him, he sees you are coming every week to purchase something. Even without you asking, he will say, okay, why not take this and go and sell it? You know, he gives you credit of 5,000 or 10,000. Just unsolicitedly, he will give it to you. Because he see you knew what you are doing and you are responding. People are happy with intelligent people who are working hard. From then on, you build capital. You start leveraging on bank loan. If there are goals you can, there's no limit to goals you can set for yourself. Okay, let me put it this way. Today I trade with bank loan because I couldn't expand all of this business without bank loan. But initially, bank will ask me to bring my house, bring my bring everything I have as collateral, and they even look for my grandmother to sign. And I was doing that, but I set a goal for myself. And that's what I want to share with you. There's no goal you set if you walk towards it that is unattainable. Do you know what the goal I set? That I want to tread, and I gave myself a target. I want to get to a point where I wouldn't see any business I want to do, that capital should not be an inhibition for any business I want to do. You would think I am insane, because what that means is that you want to say you want to be financial sufficient, that money should not be your problem. It was a goal, and I set it on my mind and start working towards it. And what I call is that I want to get to a point where I will borrow money from bank on a negative pledge. I don't want to pledge nothing. Bank should give me money based on who I want. It was a goal. It wasn't a dream. It was a dream, and I worked towards it. And true to the fact, by 2008 I achieved it. Today, I borrow money from all the banks in Nigeria on a negative pledge. First Bank, Union Bank, Guaranty Trust, Access Bank, Fidelity, Zenith, name them, all of them loan me money on a negative pledge. Means I don't pledge nothing to you. All my properties are with me, and I tell you, I won't pledge to another person without telling you. That is the pledge, and that's all. But how did it happen? Because if you follow the Bible principle that those who do not have, the little they have is taken from them, and those that have, more is given to them. You need to show strength. It's a game of strength. One time, Jimovia got me angry. I wrote one check and returned all the monies I borrowed. He came to my office at the Butemet at Masa. When he said, no, this never happened. That he never see a supply. No, that this is not. He said, when people get angry, then you started chasing them around. I say, I act opposite way. When I get angry, I pay you and walk away. I don't want to do business again with you. Now, I learned this from the Japanese. The Japanese were my mentors. The Japanese understand what commitment is all about. Commitment is not ordinary words. Commitment is that when you say you are going to do something, you will do it. And the only way you can say you will do it is that you will
underrate yourself. Never overproject yourself. Give yourself some room to meet your commitment. Once you continue to meet your commitment consistently, you are hitting the mind of people that you are somebody to be trusted. The Japanese don't go to church like we in Nigeria, read Bible. They don't, their Bible is LC, their church is business, and they don't understand all of these things we are talking. So when a Japanese made a promise to you, if he cannot keep it, he will take his life. Before the fundamentalists start committing suicide, the Japanese have been committing suicide because they knew what commitment is all about. A man I have gone to lunch with and dinner. His name is Mr. Machishita. He killed himself. He took a knife. And he will say, that's what I'm telling you to do. Just for, if you are not willing to kill yourself, don't make a commitment you cannot underwrite. Oh, some Nigerians went to Japan and they were going to Japan and said, I can't kill myself. The man said, please kill yourself because you promised. So I can't kill myself. Say, please kill yourself because you promise. So they are better to hear that your loof caved in and you keep a commitment than your loof caved in and you couldn't keep a commitment. So they taught me and I learned it and they opened themselves to me. When a Japanese trusts you, they will carry you to any level. They are like diesel engine. The Americans are gasoline. They are first to shut up, but they can't trust you to that level. And many of the young boys with me begin to wonder, where did I get all this capital? I was enjoying suppliers' credit because I proved myself that what I said I would do, I will always do. I'll give you a little example of what this commitment is all about. Recently, 3 years ago, or no, not 3 years ago, in 2011, I borrowed money from a bank. Because of this trust the bank has with me, I didn't sign any paper. Maybe you cannot understand it. Bank loaned me money without signing any paper. In the process, that transaction went bad. What is involved was 21 billion naira. I have preached commitment all my life. I have told people that I am a man of integrity, but I've never been subjected to such trial. Everybody in my office say I will not sign that paper. Because when it got bad, now the bank want me to sign. It was a big issue, truly, to the fact I was subjected to trial. And I could have walked away from that transaction. And it's not like I have 21 billion anywhere to pay them immediately. And we debated it. They said I will not sign. But something told me within myself, this is what you have spoken about all your life. It's immoral to fool around with a young lady. But it's worse when you have fooled with the young lady, you come out and say that lady is very, very loose. If you know she's loose, why did you touch her? She just walked away and leave her alone. Because it's just people not accepting responsibility. Okay? I can walk away from that transaction. And because if the bank talk, I say, where did I sign? What is the transaction? Show me the underlying documents. It will be their words against my word. And they cannot prove anything. We can debate it anywhere in the world. I prayed and I told God, this is what I believe. If I perish, I perish. I asked them to send me the documents. And I signed that documents against the board and management of my organization. I went home that evening. I jumped up. I said, I won. I won. My wife said, what did you win? You won lottery. I said, I won. I won. I won. I was happy. He said, what did you win? I said, I signed that paper. He said, you signed? I said, I signed. I signed. So, you may not understand what I am explaining to you. I hired a guy from bank to work for me 20 years ago. And when he started working for me, exchange rate moved from 20 naira, I think not that Jack on there or something, I don't know who was in charge then, 20 naira to 88 naira in one day. And I have a payment to make at the end of that month. If I make that payment, I will lose over 100 million naira. 100 million naira for me was a big money. Big money 20 years ago. Okay? Okay. No, let's get it straight. No, it was a big money that I think you will understand. It's like the kind of thing I'm talking about now. Okay, fine. What happened was that I told that banker that we'll meet the committee. He said, no, we will write it up and we will explain. It's not our cause. This is true. Everybody will understand. It's all over the newspaper. I said, we will make this payment on 30th of the month. He said, we must not miss a date of payment. If we agree we will make payment on this day, we will do it that day, regardless of anything that happened. So it's about who you, the values you want to keep in your company to be known. Today, BMW, Jaguar Land Rover, Ford Motor Company of United States of America, all of them trade with me under open account.
Wow.
I didn't pick it on the street. I work for it. Don't make mistake. I didn't pick it on the street. At the time, I worked with Exim Bank Fund. We were the only company in Nigeria. Exim Bank didn't take any collateral from any bank in Nigeria to guarantee our receivables in United States of America, just based on our credit worthiness. No bank. All the other people that get Exim Bank facility, one of the bank in Nigeria guaranteed it, but ours, we deal directly with them without any bank guaranteeing it. It's not about telling you what to have what, but I'm just telling you that you can start business small and decide these are the values you want to keep. This principle has made me not grow Coscharis to what many people, what it could have been, because I'm very conservative. I'm not willing to take a risk I cannot discount. People do not believe it's a way to run business. But I ask them, how much does peace of mind cost? What is the value of peace of mind? When somebody knock at your door, you say, please, I don't want to see you, close the door. Then when people knock and you are hiding under the table, you may not appreciate what it is. What I'm advocating is that if you are starting a business that is not already structured and you cannot predict, a business you cannot yet predict, work with your capital. How can you do capital? Be disciplined to reinvest every money you have made back into your business. I will tell you, people I employ that work for me goes to store and buy shoe $500, and I look at them, I laugh. Because they are not entrepreneur, they earn salary. But I am entrepreneur and I need to keep stock. So I couldn't afford those amount of shoes that they are buying. I will buy shoe of $100 or $80 that will fit me very well. It's not the standard of the shoe I wear that makes me who I am. It is that I am an entrepreneur and I set goals for myself. He has a certificate. If I fire him, he take a certificate and look for another job. But my certificate is that my capital. If I lose it, I go back to the village.
And on that note, I think it's a good time to open the floor for questions. If not, it looks like you'll still be here soaking up from his experience. We must have questions. I like questions I'm not for democracy. What you know about it's a conversation. And a conversation means he's talking to us. We're also asking him. there's some of us here that actually came from out of Lagos. We have a couple of entrepreneurs that came from Kaduna. If I'm calling you, stand up. They came from Rivers State, they came from Benue, they came from Edo, they came from Abuja, Warri. Where are you guys? And they came because they saw the kind of people that have come here they can share. So I know we have questions.
Yes.
I also know we want to still listen to him speak.
Yes.
So I'm going to open the floor now for questions. Please, questions. Not comments. Questions, not whining. Questions straight to the point. Because we still have another great entrepreneur who is coming right after Cosmas. So
yeah, okay. So please, I want to ask you, sir, how do you do your corporate governance in all of this?
You have a thriving industry. Your empire is growing. My question is, how did you pick your team, your staff? What did you look for? Because obviously you have a river to pick fishes from. How did you get the winning team?
Sir, I thank you for your talk. Concerning the credit thing you're talking about, I actually have experienced it as well. But I want to know, does it still happen now that we can still get this credit from our suppliers abroad, or was it in those days that was possible? I don't know if other have experienced. I experienced it once, but I don't know if it's a common thing now because I have not had the mind to ask for credit from my suppliers. But I don't think they'll give me because I'm Nigerian. So I'm just asking.
My question, sir, is: do you keep a normal week? That is, do you work 9 to 5 or 8 hours?
Let's not make mistake. I was the managing director, I was the backward director, I was the damaging director, I was the financial controller, I was the everything A to Z of that business because that's what I needed. And my first employee was my wife. Incidentally, some of you do not know, the name Coscharis is a combination of Cosmas and Charity. My wife is Charity, I am Cosmas. So I didn't want it to sound local like Charity. So I make it Coscharis. So people thought it was a Greek company. She didn't sound local at all. We are creating every year 7 champions. And when I started, I said, no, this is not going to be it. I took the first apprentice boys, 4 of them. Each time I settle any of them, I replace them with an employee. What I set out to do is that I'm going to bake a big cake that everybody can take a pile. So I stopped apprenticeship system, which I was brought up with. To be an entrepreneur, you need to be creative and continue to challenge the norms, looking for better way to do things. Now, when I started with those young people, I didn't have all the capital, so I wasn't looking for a professional accountant. I looked for somebody who would be collecting cash for us, call our accountant, call my sister-in-law, my wife's senior sister, and call her director general, DG, so like ministry. And we were going that. If you are an entrepreneur, you need to know when there is a need to make a change in your organization. Today, we are very professionally structured. One of the most challenging things I faced was when I wanted to make that change. With all those level of people I employ that all hang around me and want to hair in my coat and say, hey, Bishop. When we wanted to set system and processes to run the company, I met heavy resistance. So when you want to grow a company to a certain level, you must understand your limitations and look for experts to come in. This is when I started, but you don't need to do it from day one because you don't have financial capacity to take it. So when I got to that position, as an entrepreneur, I knew I have to make this change now. That is the only way I can move forward. And then getting other people to ask, because initially it was like there's a parallel group.
All these people, they speak grammar. Where we are there, we have built concerns, they come to chop the money when they here. But where we have arrived, if those people did not come, we will not go anywhere. Because everybody help me every day, stand around me and just say, yes, I'm man, and then just one man champion. The company would have grew and died in my head. But I knew we need to make a change. Now your corporate strategy is the most important thing in your organization. Your corporate strategy, when you start growing in a structured manner, if you get it right, will give you 20 years advantage against your competitors. If you don't get it right, then you will see your capital, it will eat. If you get it right, the first thing that happens is that you have the right strategy, then that right strategy will develop again to the next. It's not the product that is important. It's not the product that is important. It's not any other thing but the strategy. Your corporate strategy. In fact, we just finished on Friday, having a 5 years strategic plan with KPMG where we want Cosmas to be in the next 5 years. Because we continue to set goals for ourselves and break it. So today, we are truly well-structured organization. In our company, I head the team, the board of the group. There are so many subsidiaries today under our group. Then we have our group managing director. Then we have we're hiring a chief operating officer that will house our suppliers, supply chain, and financial control and all of the things we do him. And then we also have other group, the group managing director managing all the subsidiaries. So our corporate governance is very strong, and that is the only reason why these organizations will be able to deal with us. There are things some of them are looking for at that level. You need to put all of those things in place. So, but you won't do it from day one. You need to start. I don't want us to get into there unless you have come to that level. And if you get to that level, then we can discuss more detail on it. But I'm just giving you the elementary things that they require to take business off the ground. Because it's like running a business is like aviation. Anyway, because I can run now and start giving you another story. So let me take the next question. Can we still get credit? Why not? Still today. In Cosmas, we still give credit to our customers, and they don't come and beg us and crawl on the ground for us to give them credit. Because of experience we have had, we've tried to help some of them to structure their organization, give them certain things to do. But I can also tell you today, there are some customers we deal with that only thing we require from him is, look, we don't require any collateral from you. We can take some risk from you, but incorporate your business, let your wife also be a signatory to the account. He said, no, you can keep your credit. The only me want to trade. But we wouldn't do that. So if you need to, you can still get credit today. Depending on who you are working with, if you continue to show constant appearance in patronage over a period of time, the person, you can discuss with him. You don't ask outrageous things. Start from first step, small thing first, and show credibility from that first thing. Don't ask for credit of 1 million when your turnover is 500,000. Nobody will give it to you. Ask for credit of 5,000 when you are giving a man a turnover of 100,000. He will give it to you. He can discount 5,000 and tell him you will pay him on Wednesday next week. Tuesday, pay him. Don't wait till Wednesday. Then ask him for 10,000. If he give it to you, tell him you pay him on Friday. Thursday, pay him. You won't ask him again. He will give you 30,000 credit. And if you keep that payment, he will give you more. These things work. It's a mind game also. It's not just words. It's action. But you need to prove you are credible Nobody want to give you credit without proving your financial capacity. Today, for me to give you credit, if you are making a turnover 100 million from us, we won't give you credit more than 10% because we assume with turnover of 100 million, you have your stock which is owned by you. If you are making mistake, we can catch something that we can hold, that we can recover 10 million naira easily. I won't take more than 10 million naira risk with you. But once your turnover goes to 500 million, 1 billion, I start trusting you. And it get to a point, before you know it, I get loose with you. It's natural. Because I also want to sell my goods. I have more thing I want. I'm looking for a way to give it out. And I see you have a capacity, you have customers to reach out. When I started credit before, all I asked my suppliers is that I won't pay them until after 15 days. When I master 15 days and they knew constantly I keep 15 days, I started asking for 30 days. From 30 days, I started asking for 45 days. Today, you'll be surprised. I get credit today up to 270 days payment terms. Minimum I ask today is 45 days. People told me Chinese don't give anybody credit. You must pay deposit before. I'm trading with Chinese today. They still give me 120 days payment terms. But I didn't start from it. You need to start paying and show you are credible and show evidences of the people you have dealt with before. Your track record. One guy wanted to, I think it's a bank that wanted to get a referral from one of my supplier in Japan. The reference they gave to him is that my payment arrived like Shinkansen. Shinkansen is Japanese express train that you don't know when it's going to arrive. But when it's 10 o'clock, you don't see, 2 minutes to 10, you don't see it. By 10 o'clock, it's there on the spot. Bam. That was the kind of reference they give for how we hold our obligation. So you can still get credit today if you learn to keep commitment, but don't ask for a treasure sent from day one. How do you keep your week? One of the things you do as an entrepreneur is that you have to learn to work hard, pretty hard. In fact, you have to work harder than every other person in your organization. I'm sorry to disappoint you because I met one young man recently who told me he wanted to be an entrepreneur. I said, can you give me a reason why you want to be? He said, because we want to close when it is 5 o'clock. We want to have his time under control. I said, you need to get a teaching job. By 12, to school close, you can go home. I'm sorry to disappoint you that I never leave my office. That may not be applicable. It's not something many people admire. But frankly speaking, I still never leave office today earlier than 10 o'clock, 11. Yes. I got to my home this morning about 2 a.m. Yesterday I left office at 12:45. I wouldn't advise you to do that, but I started it when I was young. If you haven't somersaulted when you are young, if you start somersaulting as an adult, you get a spinal cord injury. It's just that I built myself with it. So I'm a workaholic. Work is fun to me. And you can also ask me, how do I relax? I will also disappoint you that I raised 5 kids. Today, some of them are master's degree holders and live their life till today. My wife and I, we don't have television in our home. Yes, we don't have cable TV, not on local TV. We don't watch CNN. When I get home, I don't want unwanted visitor to be intruding when I'm talking with my wife. Because I have small time to give her and another person is talking and is taking our attention. So I focus to give her that attention. And some of you don't know that I stopped school in elementary 3 and the English language continued to trouble me because my mother never spoke English to me. It still troubles me till today. So if I find time, I read some books to be able to, catch up with my knowledge on what I need to do. So I can't spend time watching TV.